Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are all well. In today's video we're going to be talking about happiness and peace and how to find it and how to create it and how to maintain it, most importantly. I'm going to be sharing 5 tips of my own that I followed to creating that peaceful and happy life. Most importantly, feeling that peace and happiness within myself. Being able to understand that happiness is not something that just comes to you one day. It's something that you have to work for. I'm quite realistic in my approach to life, but I'm also quite delusional as well, because I think you have to be delusional to a certain extent. And as I always say, consistency as well as patience is very crucial to maintaining this life and to be able to create that life for yourself as well. And if you don't have that self-discipline, which I have a video on, if you go back a few months, I think. So of course there's many videos out there that give you information on how to find that happiness and peace in your life, and a step-by-step way of following certain rules. Life doesn't have rules. I think there's obviously you can implement routines, but also giving yourself that freedom to float around like a butterfly in a sense. I only said that because I keep seeing butterflies flying around outside my window and it's so cute. You allow yourself to grow through that process that you have to go through, even if it's painful, even if it's difficult, but persisting in it and being able to get out of the other end and say you did that, and showing yourself that you are so much more capable than you give yourself credit for. Because if you don't go through those difficult situations, if you don't go through that adversity in your life, then you'll never be able to actually appreciate and understand what happiness and peace really means to you. So I think you need to have that initiative and the self-awareness to be able to create those rules and limits for yourself as well, because you're the only person who knows yourself best. Well, you should be the person that knows yourself best and knows what's best for you. I think that disconnecting yourself from the outside world is such an important aspect to start off with. It's the only thing that's actually going to kind of help you get into that space of happiness and peace, because we are constantly being manipulated by society and brainwashed every single day of our lives. And I think people become so unaware of what's happening because they are so used to it and so used to outsiders telling them what to do, like companies as well, telling you that you need this product and that you need this to feel better, to look better. And all they do is just feed off of your insecurities. So working on your insecurities and accepting your insecurities, taking control of your life and taking control of your own self and taking it out of people's hands is going to give you that first step into finding that true peacefulness in yourself, most importantly, because you are at peace with the way that you are at peace with the person that you are. And when you have that, nobody can take that away from you. Absolutely nobody, no matter what anybody says, no matter what anybody does, because you know yourself and you know what your worth is. It's recognizing that it's also unnecessary and also false, because I don't even know how to explain it, because I think you need to find that balance of where you draw the line of where do I actually require something and where do I actually just want it. Because needing to do something for yourself is so much more difficult than doing what it is that you want. Doing what it is that you need to do requires a lot more self-discipline and a lot more patience and a lot more self-love than doing something that you just want to do. And of course, finding balance, like I said, is so important between those two things. But doing things that you need to do and you know that you need to do is going to create that life that you want to actually live, because you show yourself that discipline and you show yourself that you can do it, and you detach yourself from the outside world and what it expects of you, because you are finding that happiness and peace within yourself and not outside of yourself. Happiness is not a constant state. We need to realize that as well. Both happiness and peace are not constant states. It's something that you have to work every day towards to create and to make decisions and choices that you know will get you there. Because a lot of people make the easier choice in that moment, knowing that it'll be easy now, but then later on in life, you realize that it's made your life so much more harder because you made that one silly decision. Whereas if you made the harder decision, you would be in a better position in the future. It's not about not living in the present moment and just thinking about your future self, but it's also recognizing that your present is your future. My second point, which is stop playing the victim card, and I've been guilty of that, as I'm sure everybody else has, as it's so much more easier to blame somebody else for the way that your life is going than take responsibility for the decisions that you have made. And obviously there's certain situations where it was out of your hands and there is nothing that you could have done, but it's also about perspective as well, and seeing that certain things were a blessing and that they redirected you into a better outcome. It's important to forgive yourself and others to be able to move on with your life and not harbor any negative emotions. Holding on to that pain and not allowing yourself to release is only going to hurt you further and disconnect you from your happy, peaceful, true self. So don't allow that to be taken away by someone who hurt or disappointed you. Remember that you deserve to be loved and appreciated for who you are. Everything that you have stuffed in the back of your mind needs to be emptied and spread out onto the floor. As no matter where you are in life, if you cannot appreciate your life the way it is right now, even just one little thing, then you won't be able to appreciate when you do have everything that you wanted, because it's your mindset and not the outer circumstances that create true peace and happiness. And I've always said that, like, obviously the kind of environment you're in will impact the way that you feel tremendously, and it's easier said than done to kind of not let that affect you. But even for myself, that once you're able to find out true peace and happiness, I think, in yourself, you start to attract certain situations and certain things into your life that get you out of that environment that you are in, because you're not aligning with that energy anymore. So what the universe does is it provides you with opportunities and chances to get out of that, because you are attracting something different with your newfound energy. And I understand how tough it can be to keep that mindset, especially when you're in an environment that doesn't allow you to be like that. But it's fighting it and being persistent and consistent and doing little things every day that keep you in that kind of vibration. If you need to meditate, if you need to journal, the foods that you're eating as well, and the stuff that you consume on a daily basis. Are you, after work, are you just getting home, laying on your bed and just scrolling through TikTok the whole evening? Or are you actually putting yourself in workout gear and going to do a workout, whether it's in the gym, whether it's at home, or just go for a walk? Because those different types of options that you've got will definitely impact the way that you are feeling about yourself. And you need to have that you really need to master self-discipline to be able to make that like the right choice for yourself. Because if you're just constantly doing that when you get home and wonder why you feel tired and unmotivated and unhappy with yourself, it's because the things that you're choosing to do. And you need to take responsibility for that, because it's so much easier to just lay on your bed. And don't get me wrong, I do that myself, but then I give myself a time frame. Oh, I'll do this for half an hour and then I'll go and get myself ready and go do a workout. And creating that routine for myself that fits me and that brings me that true peace, joy and happiness. And I've been able to say that I've felt stability in the way that I feel for the first time in my life, for the longest time in my life. And understanding myself and understanding my body and understanding my mind has gotten me so far. And just putting that work into myself, putting that time into myself, and kind of disconnecting myself from everything else that's around me. Everybody needs to, I think, experience that, like go into hermit mode and for a few months or so and really find out who they really are and what they really need. This also goes into practicing gratitude and stillness. When I started to be grateful for even the most simple things in my life, I found gratitude everywhere around me. I found something to be thankful for every single day in my life. And I had to start forcing myself. Like when I first started to kind of get into gratitude and finding something that I'm grateful for every day, I struggled. I can't lie. I really struggled, because I wasn't raised to be grateful. Okay, that sounds really terrible, but I wasn't raised to be grateful for the small things in life and to be grateful for the things that I have. And it sucks because I had to teach myself to be grateful and to show gratitude to other people as well. And it felt very unnatural to me when I first started. And this was like probably like 5-6 years ago that I started like really getting into gratitude and finding gratitude in my life. I had to start with journaling, and I would force myself every evening to write at least 5 things that I was grateful for, no matter how silly they were, how unimportant they might have been to other people. It's what was important to me. And I did that consistently for I don't know how long, but I did that for maybe like a couple of months consistently every evening. Well, I tried, I think, to do it every evening, and it became natural to me to the point where I then started to see, even in my daily life, things that I can be grateful for. And even now, just looking around, I'm grateful for the plants that are around me, right? Because they're so beautiful. And like pieces of art that I can see around as well. And it's like, I'm grateful for that because it's beautiful, because it gives me joy, and it's pleasant to look at as well. And it's like things like that, I think I really struggled to recognize at first and understand that I can be grateful for anything in life. And that's where I think a lot of us go wrong. We think that we can only be grateful for the bigger things. That's not living. That's just waiting for something better to always come around. And stillness is where obviously it could be meditation and just being present in your body, in yourself, in silence, no distractions whatsoever, observing your body, observing your mind, and doing breath work. I've really started to get into breath work, and that has really helped me because I think like even now I feel like when I film videos I take like a really short rapid breath sometimes because I forget to breathe. And I think that's enough. It's weird because it's like something as simple as breathing we forget how to do, and reconnecting with your body and reconnecting with the present moment is where you will find that peace, because that's where you currently are right now, and this is the only moment that you have, which is right now. And leading on to my last point is try to avoid seeing things as just bad and good. And this especially kind of comes to like your feelings. I just feel like you need to allow yourself to be. We all have bits and pieces inside of us that make us who we are. And when you start putting labels on your thoughts and your feelings, it can become very confusing for yourself and overwhelming as well. Okay, guys, that's all from me today. I hope you all have a blessed day ahead of you, and I will see you very soon. Bye.